It's 4 o'clock. Storm finally passed, and I managed to make some lunch. A nice chicken, onion, and green pepper taco. So before I head out for the evening hunt, I wanted to show you some of the gear I use. Actually, most of the gear. This is a string sling. It's to sling my bow and to temporarily hook it on those hooks and hang it so I can have my hands free to mess with the cameras or check something out with my binoculars. Very handy item. Got it about 2 years ago now. Would not go bow hunting without it. My Garmin eTrex 20 GPS. Wouldn't go anywhere in the woods without that either. My Nikon 8x40 binos. Same goes for them. Gotta have them. And this is new this year, my new rangefinder, Nikon ProStaff 7i with incline-decline technology. In other words, whatever angle you're looking at a game animal at, it gives you the true distance to that animal, which is really critical, especially in archery. I carry this little Kershaw folding knife for skinning. Very sharp, clips right on my belt, very handy, always have it. And for any unanticipated evildoers in the woods, either of the four-legged or two-legged variety, I carry a Glock 27 compact 40 caliber with 10 rounds of 180 grain jacketed hollow point, and I carry a spare magazine for it in my pack. My main hunting knife is this Remington, which used to be a stainless knife until I rebuilt it. I Duracoated it, custom Duracoated the blade in Russian Spetsnaz camo pattern through my company Coyote Coat, my Duracoating business for firearms, knives, etc. And then I wrap the handle with Coyote Brown paracord, and that goes right onto my pack and stays on my pack. This is a Camelback pack, and I won't open it and show you all the various and sundry things inside. There's ropes and emergency shelter and rubber gloves and all kinds of stuff. But it has a water bladder. Carries about 2 quarts of water. Feeds through that tube, which is very handy. Then, of course, there's my bow. New one this year. It's a brand new PSE Stinger X. Well, it was a brand new Stinger X a week ago. Really like it. I shoot an IQ Retina Pro sight with Retina lock technology. The arrows are gold tip 75-95 Expedition Hunters, which I refletched with boning blazer vanes. And the broadheads are 85 grain Nap Thunderheads. Last but not least are the cameras being used to film this episode of The Wildlife, our first video blog episode, our first vlog. Main camera is the GoPro Hero 4 Silver Edition. Here it is on the head strap mount. And I use an external microphone because the GoPro microphone kind of sucks, and the only way an external will connect to the GoPro is by a small USB connection. So I invented this boom mic. Basically, it's a piece of clear plastic tubing which I cut to fit right snug up against the cord, the mic plug-in cord, and then I leave it a little bit short of the actual mic itself so I can put it on a windscreen or whatever. That gives it some stability. It's not flopping around, and it looks kind of weird, but the whole thing looks weird, especially when you walk into a store or a camp or something, you're wearing a camera on your head. And then have another separate camera I use, and I'm going to have to film that with the GoPro to show you because I'm using it right now. It's a Panasonic V550 HD camera, and it has what the GoPro doesn't, namely a 90 power zoom. And here's the other camera I use, which I wasn't able to show you initially because I was using it to film with. It's a little Panasonic HD with a 90 power zoom, and I carry it in this little side pouch on my left side, and I usually have spare batteries in there for the GoPro, extra SD cards. I only have one battery for this camera, but I use it about 20% of the time versus the GoPro about 80% of the time. But it works really, really well, very light, and I've even used that 90 power zoom as kind of a impromptu spotting scope. You can see that in one of my videos called Mile and a Half Bucks. So that's the gear I used on this bow hunting trip during filming of my video, The Return.